moving into the rest of the poem is you have the next part is want a ring that's not for wearing. So I think a ring that is not for wearing, there's many different interpretations. One is it could be a literal ring that you're not supposed to wear. So an example of that is the bone ring that Maelwyn gives Kvothe when she finds out he's
No,
with the
that's
Rue.
the bone.
And,
The bone comes from Strep, or whatever his name is, the wood ring, isn't it?
Trip.
Wood.
okay, the wood ring.
Yeah. Yeah, she burns.
Okay,
She
so it
burns
was
into it, and they're all like, "Hey, dude, don't! You're not supposed to wear this."
yeah,
Yeah, it's like yeah,
Yeah.
it's very It seems like she is a massive insult, huge insult.
yeah. Yeah, everybody like looks can eye at it when like he brings it up. Everybody's just kind of looking at it like, ugh.
Yeah.
And
you
they,
shouldn't wear that,
look
dude.
at it. They can. It's like
Everybody
they
warns them.
tried not to look at it, but they can't. They're drawn to it because of it. It is such a big insult. And then he just like he throws it on his finger and walks out the door. And what's Stape is like telling
Stape.
him like, hey, you really shouldn't be wearing that.
Well, he gets it from
And
Stape.
so-
He gets it from the guy he plays chess.
Brandor. Not Brandor, Braden.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he gets it enough where like it really cements in our mind, like it's
So-
a massive insult. It's like basically she wiped her ass with this thing and you put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's worse because it's suggesting a station below that of like slaves. You know, it's like, oh man, yeah. I mean,
like dead man walking kind of thing.
Yeah. So it could be that. It could be literally a ring you're not supposed to wear. Or it could be the ring like the sound like a bell makes when you ring it. So like an example of that is in Trappist's story that he tells about Minda and Telu hunting in Canis. When Telu ties Canis to a wheel, there's a part where it's like, but then there was a sound like quenching iron. The wheel rung like an iron bell, and Canis' body arched painfully at the sound, then hung limply from his wrists as the ringing of the wheel faded. So it could be a ring like that, like something being rung. But I think the most likely guess, the one that I think is the most likely the right answer, is it also could be the ring of Greystones that he dreams about coming up shortly. So after his family is killed and he is in the woods by himself, he goes to sleep and he dreams about like being taught from one of the Lacklesses or Lacklith. He's taught by this guy how to, what food he can eat, what plants he can eat, what plants will help you numb pain, which ones are poisonous, that kind of stuff. But then at the end of that dream, he sees a circle of greystones, and one of the greystones, one of the parts like forms like a doorway. Like there's two standing up and one going across the top like an archway. So there's that description of a circle of ringstones that I think is the most likely explanation of what the ring that's not for wearing. I think it's the one of them, a ring unworn. I think that is the door. I think the doors of stone is that circle of greystones. Like in greystones, that's how he gets into the Fae.
Yeah,
it's like a portal.
Channels,
and so yeah,
and,
exactly.
Well, and
so I think this is a portal into what they lock someone behind.
They also seem to represent large moments in his life. Very, very large moments that loom large over the story and loom large over his experience seem to happen at Greystones. They're markers throughout the story. And as I started to realize that, I started to like recognize it much, much more and sort of highlight it in my mind when I come across it. So that does actually make a lot of sense to me. But it's funny, it's clever for Rothfuss to do it because when you read it, the first thing in my mind you go to are those rings that you don't wear in the mayor's court. That's the first thing you go to. And I think that's why it's so clever because he lays out these things that in retrospect seem quite obvious. When you make these connections for what's her name? Lackless? close mom.
Natalia.
Yeah, when you make those connections, it seems, oh yeah, this is kind of obvious. Once you make the connections, they're not. They're not at all obvious, which is why you say 15 million no, 15 million don't.